So, hi, everyone, online and live. So, in this event, you never know who is listening to you. Is it some S&P customers, big ones, competitors, friends, partners, and so on? So, actually, decided to choose topic which is relevant to everyone, even for you guys, because you don't have nothing like this. And fortunately, Checkpoint don't have anything from CM what you do. Yeah, so basically the idea is that what we like to discuss today is to discuss about mobile phones, about mobile devices, about latest funny stuff what is happening around. And the idea is because actually if you look to the, okay, if you look actually at the latest stories, what you saw in the media, latest breaches and so on. So 6 months ago, most famous story was about some, let's say, surgery clinic in Lithuania who lost like 20,000 customers' data, including all the pictures before and after and so on. And actually, latest stories what we hear this week actually is about Wi-Fi vulnerabilities, VPA2 and stuff. So in all these cases, anyhow, let's see, mobile devices are connected. So a couple of stories from Lithuania and Latvia together. So how many from you heard about some nice Latvian company called Quanta Computing SIA? Heard that? No? It's really a famous company. Actually, this company becomes very, very known like a couple months ago because one guy, a Lithuanian guy, Evaldas Rimošauskas, actually was jailed and now is actually extradited to States because actually 5 years ago he established a new company in Latvia with the name Quanta Computing SIA. And 5 years actually was managing to send the bills to Google, Apple, and a couple more companies and managed actually to get 100 million USD in 5 years. So it's simple question. Okay, if you are just regular guy and you don't have nothing to do with actual quantum computing company in China, how you can convince guys like Apple and Google to pay you a couple hundred millions? It's a nice story, but actually idea behind, let's see, some reverse engineering or at least some data, how it actually was done. See, they was even not trying to hack some firewalls or breach security of the Apple or something, but actually what they did, they was managing to get some data from mobile devices, from actual guys working in the let's see, quantum computing. They're discovering who is responsible for sending the bills, who is the receivers, and actually just was faking the bills and sending fake bills with very, very similar name with some, let's see, Latvian IBAN number. And actually, of course, this money was moved away from the country to the offshore companies and laundered and so on. This guy ended up not so really well. Now it's, let's see, under court investigation in the States. But anyway, I believe they just simply made some stupid mistakes. And why he was jailed. But main problem is that you never can get this money. It's actually if you will send this from your personal email. If you will send it, let's see, from very similar email or even better if you can fake real addresses who is sending, let's say, invoices. So it's not the first time. A few years ago, more or less similar story happened with Lithuanian company. So it was about 52,000 euros stolen. But in that case, customer discovered it very, very fast and actually was able to block, let's see, wire transfer before actually it's reached customer. So it's not first time, and idea why it's happening and why it's so important, because there is three most popular trends what's happening now in the world. One thing is ransomware. Let's encrypt customer data and ask money for that. It's fine. The next one, even more successful, is let's see, banking trojans, who is stealing, keylogging your customer data, and actually when they can access your bank account, so just take money from that. There we have a problem in Baltics because in old Europe and in States, nobody is using two-factor authentication, nobody is using key generators, don't using SMS approving or something. Usually all Americans are able to remember one PIN code from the credit card, nothing else. So this type of fraud is huge actually in the States, and let's see all European countries, but not that much in Lithuania. And looking to the third, let's see, actually trending stuff, it's of course trying to fake data and send the emails from, let's see, or ask money to be wired for someone. It's more like graph and explanation how it works, but the idea, you know, if someone from your email is sending, let's say, request to your chief accounting officer, okay, I'm asking you from next month to transfer my salary to the new bank account in Latvia. Okay, why not? If it's from your email, if it's some document, even maybe not sign it, of course, it's without any electronic signature, but anyway, probability that it will be trusted is very, very high. So only thing what you need to do that, it's more or less, it's to get access actually to your email. And easiest way is to do actually not from your PC or even from your Exchange server or whatever. Easiest way, of course, is to affect your mobile device. Why it's easiest? Because it's actually much more vulnerable comparing to a laptop. It's always on. Let's see, let's ask a question. How many of you guys has data plan in their smartphone and using a couple gigabytes per month? Okay. Anybody else? No? You don't have a data? No? You're using still using SMSs, yes? So I can tell you that my home server actually is using something like a couple gigabytes per month, and my mobile phone plan is 20 gigabytes. So I easily can compare that. Unfortunately, my mobile phone is much more, let's see, connected comparing to my home network. And problem is that in most of the cases, these mobile devices aren't protected at all. In most of the cases, you don't have nothing who is actually can prevent, let's see, from bad guys to listening to your data, turning on your microphone, TV, microphone camera and stuff. And why actually to try to hack someone's firewall? Why to try to, I don't know, kill somebody to get into a bank vault? It's much easier to get access to the, let's say, the why which is easiest to crack. So let's do a short questionnaire. How many of you are using Apple products like iPhones and stuff? Okay, and Androids? Okay, it's more or less like 50-50, but it's because we are in the IT, let's see, event. Usually it's like 20-30 to 70 in the Baltics, and depends on the base, but problem is that Android devices, unfortunately, are much more vulnerable. And we are accounting that something up to 100 million devices worldwide are actually affected constantly. It means in some cases, let's see, these bots are even able to hack device so deeply that even flashing or full reset to their hardware defaults didn't help to remove malware. That's happened. So what is the most popular ways how to hack it? So first and easiest one and straightforward, it's just to use some infected applications. With Apple Store, it's a bit more tricky, but it's very easy. It's very easy with the Google Store. And actually, we are doing demo for guys who is interested. So you simply can come to the Arrow booth, and we will show you how we can infect your phone by the malware in like 2 minutes. Very easy. Of course, we will have access to your data and so on, and we will have your bank accounts after that. But if you don't mind, so you can try it. Next, very famous one is to use network attacks. It might be either 4G, 3G, either Wi-Fi. And we'll talk about it a bit later. Also, US exploits, definitely routing stuff. It's very helpful for the hacking. Phishing sites, very much. And newest trend, what we see is phishing by the emails actually doesn't work at all. And new and most popular trend is to use phishing SMSs. In last couple months, almost every second day was receiving SMS from DHL. Blah, 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 hello, you are receiving some parcel from DHL. There is the link, there is your number, let's see, number of the box, whatever. Please enter your credentials. We should authorize it you just to note that it's definitely you. And you will see where is your stuff and when you can take it. And problem is, it's not because it's not from DHL. Problem is that it's actually asking some extra, either credit cards, either bank accounts, just to have protection. It's coming from USA or China, and you might need to pay some taxes, so please provide your credit card just in case, more or less. And it works perfectly, as I heard from guys who does it. So let's say percentage of the guys who trust this kind of phishing, it's very, very good, like 5 to 6% out of sent SMSs. Comparing to email spam is much, 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 much better, like 10 times or even more. And let's see, new and old stuff is SS7. So it's a protocol which is used to control mobile devices, let's see, virus and so on. Problem with SS7 is that it's very, very old protocol. It was using for, let's see, managing landlines, just to, let's see, industrial protocol, how to control connections and stuff. Problem is it's still used in many, many providers across the world. And problem, because this protocol is very old, is actually quite easy to hack. And what you can do with that, actually you can pretend to be anyone in the world. You can pretend and use somebody else's number. You can pretend and, let's see, send SMSs from another guy's numbers and so on. What I saw lately, and actually I saw it with some good customers in Lithuania, new thing which is not mentioned here is some denial of service attacks, DDoS. But DDoS not it's in typical way against mobile phone, but DDoS just by doing phone calls. Problem is, let's say, if some customers is going to some important meeting or is going to, I don't know, sign some very important agreement, someone is starting to call to this guy absolutely all the time. I mean, phone is constantly ringing, so it's like 2 or 3 new calls every second. So actually you can't do any call. You can't answer to nobody because it's constantly busy. And at that moment, usually somebody in your office or somewhere doing something wrong. It might be some government actions, maybe somebody is taking your computers out, but it might be that some guys is pretending you or came to your office and asking your, let's say, employers to do something, and they can't reach you if you are a manager. And it's done usually by the virtual PBXs, but lately we saw attacks which is performed by the mobile phones. So let's see, some mobile phones, even in here, it might be used for some DDoS attacks and to DDoS somebody in the world. And in some cases, I heard from telco operators that if customers are complaining that they didn't make calls or they didn't make some data connections, or sometimes, in most of the cases, it's not a system error, it's not the operators are cheating. Usually it's a problem with some malware in the mobile devices. And the latest and greatest just appeared last Sunday. Who heard about that? Crack? Who knows what is that? Good. It's not that bad. About the half of auditory knows that. So in short, it's actually some, let's see, protocol issue which allows to guys fake, let's see, access points and actually get you connected to the wrong access point to pass all the data through that. And problem if you are using some unsecure applications like POP3 or something like that with unsecured passwords without HTTPS or SSL or something, or VPNs, your all data might be listened, that it might be reused. And of course, main question is what to do. It's not enough just to patch your, let's see, access points because there are nothing, let's see, to do with that. Actually, what you should do, you should patch your devices. So let's see, Microsoft patched most of the operating systems last week. So if you have auto, let's see, update turned it on, so you already got it into your client laptops and stuff. Apple, Samsung, and lot of endpoint device vendors still don't have patches out. So idea what you should be constantly aware, it's 2 choices, either to use, let's say, some security product, which is by default, like tracking, who is who, all the man in the middle attacks and so on, or another thing, at least you should remove all the applications which is communicating and don't using any encryption on that. Of course, what you can lose and what is the, let's say, problem. In many cases, customers are thinking that they should install some mobile device management or something, and should protect corporate data like emails or maybe files. But how many times you saw that guys are driving like half an hour to the meeting lively with someone to discuss privately, while both of them putting phones on the table next to them. Problem is that actually, in most of the cases, it's so easy actually to hack your phone and put, let's see, some malware who is can use Microsoft or even take a pictures that you wouldn't believe that. But most of the phones, if you will leave it unattended, they can do it, okay, like 7 minutes maximum. If you don't leave it unattended as well, let's see, many government institutions have tools how to hack it even remotely, and so on. And unfortunately, a lot of these tools is developed by American, let's see, NSA organization, but they are for last year for sale actually in the dark web. So if you are interested to have something like that, I can point you to the right sites to buy. It's not cheap ones, starting from 5K or a bit more, but if you really need that, I can help. That's a joke, of course. And what is important part, and actually what Checkpoint is doing, so mobile device management for the enterprises is a must, so you definitely should have it, by my idea, but it's not enough. Mobile device management usually just does some container putting your data safe, so if somebody will steal your phone, your data can be safe. But to avoid, let's say your phone, turn it on when you don't need that, or microphone used, or your contact, or let's see meetings details is stolen. Actually, you should have installed something on top. So Checkpoint product, SunBlast Mobile, does very simple thing. It actually controls all the applications which is installed in the operating system. You are simply sending a cache over every single application to the Checkpoint database or cloud, whatever you call it, and we are checking is it application known or not. It's more or less like sandboxing technology. Problem is that we don't need to send, or the problem that actually the vision is we don't need to send any live data from the phone. No addresses, nothing, just simply cache of every single application process which is running inside. And then we can see is it, let's see, process known or not. If it's known process, then it's okay. If it's totally unknown and you install something which is totally new, we will find it, we will emulate it, and you will get notification. Is it good or bad? It's not always instantly, like in a minute or two, but if you will install something really wrong, in a couple hours you will get, let's see, a notification that it's wrong. It's not signature-based usually. It's, let's see, tested all the time, let's see, using some kind of sandboxing technology. User interface, it's very, very simple. I mean, from the customer side, you don't need to see it so much, but all the things what you can see is on the administrator side. So actually, your enterprise administrators can see all the devices, you can see what they do and what is good and bad there. And of course, take actions. If I see that some device got some risk, so we can tell to the MDM solution what it must be performed. We can connect this customer to the VPN, we can wipe it, we can whatever. So all the MDM, let's see, functions what they can do might be used. But our stuff does nothing. They just simply says that, okay, your device is infected, there is a risk, and then actually either administrator, either MDM is taking actions how to remediate it. And yeah, about most popular thing, how it's getting infected, and about demo, what you can see. So let's say problem with Google Stories that is not really healthy in many cases. Just few examples, let's see, in the last 3 years, what kind of the ransomware or let's see malware things was found in the Google Store in the applications. So it's not like this that all the applications in the Google Store always are safe from the stuff. Not all countries are equal. To be honest, China Google Store looks very much funnier comparing to, let's say, European one. But even if you are downloading the application from, let's say, authorized store, you are not safe. Another bad thing is that in most of the cases, customers even are not reading what they are accepting. Let's say if you are installing an application and this, let's say, application has name Angry Birds, but still this application is asking you for the keyboard access, microphone access, web camera access, and whatever, 90% of the guys are, let's say, simply answering yes, I need that. I'm just wondering what will happen with new iPhones, like 10, which can be, opened by simply showing your face to that. It sounds very nice, but by my understanding, every, let's say, stupid application now will be asking for camera access. And every stupid customer will feel, okay, Angry Birds most probably need that because I should unlock my phone like this. In most of the cases, it's not the case at all, but it's people mindset. And yeah, looking to the things what we should do and what we can do, of course. Idea, if you have really sensitive data, I suggest always to use VPN in your mobile devices, whatever is it, tablets or phones. If you're building some solution for hospitals with some tablets, or even, I don't know, some kind of taxi companies or whatever, I believe you always should think about protection, not just the data, but as well having in mind what it will be. And latest test, let's see, if you like to check how good or bad you are, let's see, or how good your devices, let's see, how good protection you have, if you have something, you can simply scan this QR code. And it's a very simple test, takes like 1.5 minutes. I can say it's not malware, can be sure, more or less. So you can simply try it even right now, just to scan it, or just to put in your browser cpcheck.me.com, and you will see actually what type of attacks can be performed against your device. Of course, it works not just for let's see, your device. It works for laptops, PCs, and so on. Idea is always to check how well configured is your firewall. Is it has, let's see, protection against ransomware? It has DLP protection? Is it has phishing protection, and so on and so on? So you can do it at home. You can try to check, let's say, wireless of this organization. It's even more interesting with the mobile operators, with telcos, because I did it yesterday with BT, Tele2, and Telia. I can tell you that answers from the test is very, very, very different. So you can look into that, and you can see what your operator is actually, how much your operator is protecting you or not. And latest thing actually, what we do, same stuff, but not just from the web, nor from mobile devices. It's a security checkup service. It's usually provided by the partners. And idea, if you are unsure how safe you are in your organization, you simply can, let's see, order, or in sometimes partners even do it for free. You can do some security checkup for your organization. It scans from the inside, collecting logs. A bit smaller in version comparing to CM, what you saw before, but actually it's collecting quite a lot of data, and it's giving very simple, easy, let's say, understandable report what's actually going on in your organization, what is good or bad, how many nice bot viruses you have inside, or maybe not. But in my practice, we do something like 100, sometimes more security checkups per year. So usually 90 few of them has something to see. And it totally doesn't matter which kind of the firewall vendor you have. Usually the problem is not with a piece of hardware, not even with software. Usually the problem is with mindset and configuration stuff. So more or less, that's it from my side. Try it, come to our booth. Let's see if you like to see how this live hacking is working for the iPhone, Android, and stuff. We have different devices in the booth to try. Of course, we don't need to hack your devices. I can hack my own, and as well, we can show you how it works. But idea as well, we can show you how we can stop it and help you. The typical question, how much it costs? So it's not really expensive product. It's so cheap, then I'm not really very, very hardly trying to sell it. It's couple USDs per month for 5 devices. So it's not really crazy enterprise branded, let's see, very difficult product. So that's it from my side. Any ideas, questions, recommendations? Short.
Should I have a microphone? Does your product help with system applications, like from firmware that come with the phone pre-installed, or installed with along with the system update from the manufacturer?
It's very simple because in the mobile operating system, everything is running as a separate application, as a process. Everything but system is running. It's a process. So if you can find process, we can calculate hash and we can check it. If it will be built in the kernel somehow, let's see, which is done by Google or Apple or somebody else, then it might be tricky. But then it will be known very, very fast because install bases are huge. But let's see, everything except one single kernel might be detected. So if Apple will decide to breach it, it will be tricky. But what we can discover, we can discover, let's see, anomalies, what's happening. If your microphone is starting to run, it always will be some parts attached to that, so we can decide and see who is launching that. Even, because usually it's not built in the kernel. All the external devices like Wi-Fi's and phones or cameras, it's external processors runs that.